start talking to the Historical Society about what might possibly be designated, and, yeah, maybe just have a year of sort of information gathering and education for us and the public as to, what the options are.
I mean, as Mike said, the Wisconsin State Historical Society does have a lot of sample documents that we can pull from and use, and, the Abley House is one thing, but, the fire station has been a big discussion, and I think people are really, our community is really realizing, and especially as we look to the community just north of us, that are, I would say, a couple steps ahead of us as far as preservation, but also reconstruction. I think that there are some concerns within our own community that we don't get to that place, and so how do we get ahead of it now, is what I've heard from a lot of residents, and what I personally feel as well. So I think that this is a really important initiative for our community for 2020.
I agree. And also, private sector, what could they do? Like the poor lady who sold her house could have put a clause in the sale button. She didn't know that. So it's a partnership between the community. What can we do to preserve our history in Shorewood? Well, does that mean residential? Does that mean commercial? Does that mean...
Well, and what you're talking, what Jessica's talking about with tear downs and building big, which is, that doesn't necessarily have to do with historical, because not every house is historical.
No.
So that's more a zoning, like setback and zoning and height restriction thing.
Right.
So I don't know, I guess our discussion tonight is like how much resources in terms of dollars or time are we allocating to this, and it sounds like, I'm not sure. It sounds like it's this versus looking at our comprehensive plan. Looking at the most.
Vision of the traffic study. I feel like if you, this hearing conversation, I would vote for this initiative because I think that if staff time, if there's a ton of building changes that come about, or something that can take a long time, then it just resides in the Strategic Initiative Committee, and, the chair has to be active and work with our community partners just to get some research and data to share with the board and with the public, and that would be cost them. And maybe next year, if things settle down and there wasn't as many, needs for company, and whatever it may be, then we could hire someone if we needed to, but at this point, I don't think it's a lot of money. It's going to be plenty of time.
Justin McKay?
We could hurry there at some point.
I lost a little bit of the conversation, so if we use next year as information gathering at the committee level, how would that solve the staff time challenge? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mean to ask Bart, but I think what I heard was that we would have to choose between comprehensive plan, historic preservation, and what was the third one? Transportation, which is like still in progress, right?
Just started.
Just started. And then the village board suggested, well, how about just this year we would do information gathering for historic preservation. But in my mind, I don't know if that was on the table as an option or if that's still too much. Because it still seems like a lot.
So I think it's something that we'd want to talk about a little bit to see what that would entail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just want to be realistic about.
I could get back to
I
us
just
and do
feel
that.
you can't, the residents speak loudly on certain issues, and that's what we're here for, and, three trustees wanted to send a letter out, which, would gain more support if we had something in place. I just feel like there's that will and desire, and we've all tried this before. The Historic Society tried to introduce it, I tried to introduce it. I don't know when we're going to get to it if not now, because the timing, as Trustee Carpenter has said, and why she sponsored the legislation is it's now. There's not a better time. Our housing stock is old, and know, in the next 2 years, we should have something in place to preserve it, or else we're gonna lose a lot of our history, because our stock is old.
Trustee McKay?
Isn't there, but the comprehensive plan aren't we, by law, we have to do it next year? I guess I'm getting
Yeah.
lost on, I don't think it's that I don't support it, I just literally am getting lost on the logistics of it. Cause I know that I know right now we don't have any active initiatives at Strategic Initiatives Committee. So the committee has time to do it, but that revolves around staff too, so I just don't know, really what that looks like, and maybe we don't need to figure it out tonight.
I individually have thoughts, but it's
Uh-huh.
something that I'd like to talk through with some of the staff members.
Okay, so
before
there's
it comes
room to
back.
bring it back, you don't need
Yeah.
definitive.
Okay.
So you can bring it back to us.
Right,
I think that'd be great.
yeah, maybe case along some gradient of
Yeah.
how much we do, or we task
Uh-huh.
next year Historical Society, can you go out and do your,
Uh-huh.
and by the end of the year, bring us this, or, you
Well,
know.
and partnering with them where they are currently, because, I
Right.
mean, they do have
Absolutely.
a fair number of documents and things that I
Absolutely.
think they could bring to the table and bring from the state that we could use that might also kind of give us some legs and some things to move with that might require a little less of staff time. Cause I mean, that obviously is an issue and it's important, so, I wanna be realistic, but I also don't wanna put this off for 2 years and then, we're in another situation and, the residents have made this loud and clear, through a couple of different situations and, and I think about some of the other areas in our community that are rich in history that I would like to, down the line protect as well, so, I just don't wanna get, 4 years, 3 years down the road and we've lost some of that momentum and steam. So,
I'm sorry, I think there's a bird stuff in the chimney.
awesome.
Yeah, I've thought maybe, I don't know.
Is it true?
It happens every year.
Oh, it happens every year, okay. I was
Well,
like,
not
just-
every year, maybe every other.
Okay, alright. So, I won't email about you that tomorrow.
Minor fear of birds.
Like in this room with me, makes me cold. Yeah.
So maybe it's tilted, so it's,
Remember, they're more scared of you than.
But it's like,
well, yeah, 'cause I'm like, the whole time I'm like,
I know, I thought it was for you.
that's what I thought, it was like underneath you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over there.
Oh, Arthur's quite the.
Sounds like flapper back there.
Yeah, so
Alright.
that
Yeah,
includes
okay.
what
Yeah,
those
well-
items that were identified within the memo.
Okay,
So I
so,
don't know if you would just wanna work our way down the village board of trustees initiatives of those that we have not yet discussed, and maybe if trustees, submitted those, they can also speak to those.
sure, let's,
The first one up would be, welcoming ordinance.
and President Rosick and I submitted the welcoming ordinance. In a lot of ways, it's, connected to the ban on conversion therapy, in fact, it appears within here, but it's an expansion. It talks about, I'm just flipping back through, civil immigration, it talks about fair housing. So it's a bit of an expansion, it fits within kind of village values that I've seen and heard throughout the years. And I know this is something that's been kind of in the hopper for a bit. I think that in terms of if we were going to prioritize this, we'd probably need village attorney time to look at enacting this and how we would enact it, similar to how we went through conversion therapy. Sorry, the bird is distracting me.
I know, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Clapping in my ear. But it's something that I feel like is aligns with our core values as a community, so I wanted to submit it as an initiative. President Rosick has also signed onto it, so wanted to give her an opportunity to present it as well.
I just want to we've been talking about it for a while, and I've always, really supportive because this is the broad, well, I think it's a resolution, but I definitely think the ordinance was needed as a law, because we do have things that it can impact, that are happening right now in Shorewood. Before the attorney, his opinion was, it got a little tricky when Larry was here. He advised against it because we were having enforcement issues and he was worried about some court cases that were in the hopper. And when I talked to him last, recently, he said he no longer has those concerns because there have been court cases that have now settled and those would have gone away. And so I think with him saying that, it's absolutely the right time. There's no impediment holding us back from enforcing or being able to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, I think this is the right time to consider this, I think this is the right time to push it forward, and hence we submitted it for consideration in this year's initiatives process. Go ahead.
So in talking with Nathan, so I would be the staff member following this one, and one of the questions that kind of came about in our discussion is, you know, there's been, you know, practice of wanting to send things to standing committees prior to being taken to the full board. What's the board's thoughts on standing committee?
Well, could it go to HRC?
From when this has come up before, I've had some concerns about the legal realm, where you cross from just making a statement to starting to create additional legal requirements beyond where there's other federal requirements and who administers it. So just the administration of this kind of would go back to the board, because there'd be a lot, or one of the committees. There's a lot of legal issues you gotta work through with it. I would think.
Justin McKay?
Yeah, I thought that the memo that we got was that, you know, say there were 4 areas that Attorney Bayer commented on. I think it was like the majority of the pieces of the ordinance that was for us to review are within our jurisdiction, like our municipal powers. And there was only one that was sort of like outside. It tried to create a new protected class, and so we'd have to just look at committee.
Yeah, I think there might need to be minor amendments here and there based on the legal opinion that we received. But, you know, we have a solid draft here that we can work off of, once we assign it to the appropriate place.
I think it goes to community business relations. I mean, if you're taking the committee and asking my opinion, that's where I would assign it.
I think that sounds right to me. That sounds right to me.
I would be supportive of that.
Yeah, I think that's the right,
Okay.
I think that's right.
All right.
There's some head nodding going on in the
Yeah,
room.
Okay.
I mean, I just feel like that, if there's any, if these are just reiterating things that are already federal civil rights or other federal or state protections, then, I mean, I'm okay with passing an ordinance, but I do think we need to be careful about if it's something that's already, if it's not really doing anything, if it's just reinforcing protections that people already have, then, I just don't wanna see a trend of us adopting ordinances. I mean, that's what a resolution is for, and I don't think in terms of our time and staff time and money, it's really, the best use to be adding to municipal code things that are really redundant, to state and federal law. So, I mean, I'm in favor of this particular one, but I do just wanna say I'm not in favor of continuing to adopt ordinances along these lines. I'm in favor of resolutions, I'm in favor of them, but I'm just not in favor of adding to the municipal code for stuff that's not really necessary.
Any other comments on Welcoming Village? Seeing none, Rebecca, what's up next?
Next one up is ad hoc budget committee.
Oh, sorry, that was just mine from last year, and I wanted to put it forward, I didn't know if anybody was interested in it, but I do feel that it would be beneficial, as we have every other committee, we have a parks committee, we have a bike committee, we have, we go out in relations now for racial issues, but we don't have any outside input for budget, and I do think that it'd be worthwhile to have a budget committee with, 1 or 2 residents and 1 or 2 trustees, including the budget chair of the budget and finance committee, as well as our budget director, and to even just, if the first year is just right before budget, give us some input, like here's the proposed budget, just to get their input like we do with parks and anyone else, I think it would be beneficial, as we move forward, and maybe their role changes over time and it becomes more of, could we work on this with staff and come up with a recommendation on how to share services for inspections or whatever. But it gives us another avenue to get information, and because we have a small staff, I know it wasn't priority last year, but I still feel very strongly that it will be beneficial.
Trustee Martin?
As last year, I would not support this initiative. I think we do have a budget and finance committee, and the full board spends many meetings talking about the budget and finance, and staff spend a lot of time answering our questions and educating us. Educating and supporting a whole nother group. I mean, there's opportunities from other residents, more than just two residents, to provide us input on the budget. And we do have on-staff expertise, both in our finance director and our village manager and other staff, that going out to select two financial experts. We already have financial experts on staff, when we can also call on other communities, their experts too, as we need to, so, I would not support this initiative.
Other trustees?
I mean, I'm not sure about the structure of it, because I'm in favor of taking a bigger picture look at all of our committees. I don't think we need the number of committees that we have, and I'm not really in favor of adding more committees and more meetings, but if we were to look at the structure and say combine a number of committees and so reduce, I mean, I would be, the part of this that I do agree with is that, you know, kind of issues of like thinking out of the box, service sharing proposals. I mean, we did talk a little bit about proposed, new revenue sources, grants that we might be able, I mean, I don't feel that, I mean, I personally am very, I rarely would ask Rebecca or Mark, I mean, I don't consider myself that I'm giving them assignments or asking them to research something, or I don't know what other trustees do, but I personally try not